I just need to be financially free and steward what I already have. Essentially, what would make you successful right now? What is your number?
For those who had to deal with trauma that causes them to not see themselves the way God sees them, what do you say to them to get to a place where they can now start seeing themselves the way that God has intended for them to see?
I have always struggled with letting the people that I pay to do the work, being afraid that if they mess something up, that my business will fail. And just trust, and I realize it's not about trust for me, it's about who has the skills, and then trust will come.
I'll give you a little pushback. It actually is trust. Because when I speak at a school and I'm talking to kids, and I'm like, hey, how do you make more money? And guess what most of the kids say? Guess what all the kids say?
What?
They either say, get a job, or they say, work hard. Like, that's what we're taught.
Yeah.
But that's not true.
Right. What's going on, bro? I love having these conversations with you. So I appreciate you, always appreciate you for having your time and attention to go ahead and just letting people know who you are and what you got going on. So my biggest thing is we got our first live studio audience today. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Yep. So I'm grateful that we get to go ahead and really dive into it, and even just switching up the whole thing and thought process from I was gonna go one direction, but actually hearing people in their different direction when it comes to business. Let me ask you this question: what do you feel like are people's biggest misconception when it comes to running a successful business? What is the biggest misconception to running a successful business?
The biggest misconception is that man, that's such a good question. It's layered. I told you I like those good questions. The biggest misconception. I don't know if it's the biggest. I would say the biggest misconception is that a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we think we have business problems, but in reality, we got personal problems showing up in the business. But it ain't really a business thing.
Problem, right? That's good.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, so why do those problems from personal, why do they translate into the business? Because you've mentioned that you don't think that business and personal should be separate.
So I think that a lot of times we think that the business is going to solve the personal problems. So we're like, okay, was the solution is to just make more money.
Right.
Whereas just making more money is just going to expose the whole. I remember we was talking the other day, and the analogy I shared was like, if you ever went and got y'all ever went and got like a tire changed on your car? And it's like before they put the tire on, they like spray it, right? To see like where the holes and stuff at. So money just exposes the holes. So it's like, it just real, it shows you like, wow. Like Dr. Kurt always say, like, money only solves money problems.
Yeah.
But then once you figure out the money, you still stuck with all the other problems money don't solve. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, then you start realize, oh, it's a lot of deep work. That's why a lot of people, they get the money stuff done, but they still stressed out, workaholics, depressed, suicidal, marriage upside down, relationship with children, but they got money though. Because they thought money was the thing that was gonna fix all the things, but it's like, money doesn't make you more worthy. Right? Money doesn't make you more valuable, right? But we think that if I just grind and work harder, then at some point I'll be seen.
Yeah.
Because you didn't feel seen growing up.
Right.
You weren't affirmed growing up. So now you're like, if I get more money, then I'll be seen, then I'll be affirmed, then I'll be valued, then I'll be validated, then I have status. Thinking that'll eliminate the childhood wounds.
Right. Then life will be good.
But it won't.
Right. So, and that's a beautiful mindset to have. Have you always had that mindset?
No.
So talk to me about before this mindset, and then transition it into that.
I thought the goal was to get the money.
Get money,
when
right?
you get the money,
Yeah.
everything is all good.
Right.
If it's like more money, no problem.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, I thought that the goal is to go from no money and once you get the money, like everything is good, because if there is a problem, you can just pay to cover the problem. So I always thought that was my mentality.
So when did you hit the brick wall and like, okay, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be?
So, I mean, once I hit all the goals.
Yeah.
Once I hit all the money goal, everything on the vision board came reality. The money, the cars, the home, the travel, all the things. And then you like, I thought this was supposed to feel different. Yeah, and you realize that I just been trying to overcompensate for some childhood stuff.
Yeah, because even in that thought process, it's like a lot of us don't sit with our wins long enough to understand that we really winning. Even if it doesn't mean that we have the amount that we want in our bank account.
Right.
So even when I think about that, when you hit the amount and the feeling, what was the expectation of the feeling that you were looking for? Because we talk about being fulfilled, or we talk about freedom as entrepreneurs, but like, what did that look like for you? I guess throughout your transition with business, like what did that look like before, and what does that look like now, current day?
So what does what look like? Just so I'm clear.
Yeah. So like the freedom portion.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you now?
Okay.
And what did that look like as far as like we were getting money, but the fulfilling piece wasn't there? But you were like looking to transition. Like, what does more look like for you, like growing up in the business, and then what does that look like now?
So I think it's a distinction between achievement and fulfillment, right? So you can continue to achieve, and us as entrepreneurs, we're typically achievers. We're chasing goals, because we want to achieve, and a lot of our identity is built in our level of achievement. And if we're in achieving something, we have a goal, we don't hit the goal, then we feel a certain type of way. It hits our identity because our identity is in doing. And as entrepreneurs, we're typically like entrepreneurs. What we solve problems, right? So if your identity is solving a problem, you, even when the problems are all taken care of in your business, because I would say a well-run business is a boring business.
Right.
So it's like a lot of times, if there's no problem to solve in the business, because our identity is that of a problem solver, what would we do?
We looking for it.
We go find the problem to solve.
find the problem, yeah.
So I give you an example. I give you the perfect analogy.
That's good.
I give you the perfect analogy. So we was at Brunch with the Bros one time, and my boy Julian was here. And Julian was like his next door neighbor, like, I don't know if y'all ever grew up in like, it's somebody who fixed cars. So he said that his next door neighbor got a Mustang. It's immaculate.
Right.
I'm talking about it's immaculate, fully restored.
Yeah.
It's immaculate. But he was like, every day, dude is in the garage working on this car, right? Because his identity is that of somebody who fixes cars.
Right.
So even if it's not something to fix, he has to find something to fix.
Right.
So as entrepreneurs, it's like if you got your business to a point, a lot of times entrepreneurs come to us and they want systems, they want freedom. Well, at least that's what they say. But in reality, when we free up the time and there's nothing to fix or there's nothing to do, they go find something else to do to fill the time. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So that was my previous, like, okay, I gotta be doing something.
Yeah.
Now it's like, my favorite thing to do is nothing. Hey, real quick, I got a special invitation for legit coaches, consultants, and experts. I want to invite you to a private workshop. It's virtual. Where I'm going to walk you through step-by-step how to install a predictable revenue engine into your business so you can attract, convert, and keep better clients for your business without working 60+ hour weeks, without losing money on ads, without creating tons of content. And we'll walk you through this exact system step by step by step. It's a 90-minute workshop, no pitch, no frills, no fluff, because I want to walk you through the process of like how you can predictably scale your business without burnout. So go ahead, click on the link. It should be in the description section of this video. Go ahead and go down there, go ahead and get registered, and then let's jump back into the episode. I'm gonna say that again. My favorite thing to do is nothing.
Right.
Like, sitting at home, watching TV, vegging out. Years ago, it was like, bro, you don't watch TV, like, you gotta be grinding.
Right.
Like, watching the game,
I ain't got time for it.
I don't got time for it. Watching
Yeah.
the movie, like, I don't know about watching no movie. Like, nobody got time for that. You need to be, but like, my favorite thing to do is like, lay on the couch, sit in the bed or something, and like, do nothing.
Yeah.
Or like, go for a walk. Like, that's crazy to me.
I feel you.
But like,
I
going
feel
for the
you.
walk, leaving the phone in the house, but like, it's like, gotta be doing something every moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And so one of the things I wanted to propose to the audience is like, where are you in your business? Where do you feel like you're trying to fix in your business right now? If anybody wants to share, what do you feel like you're trying to fix in your business right now that you feel like will take you to the next level? Like, what's one thing right now that maybe somebody's working on? Any specific? We can pass that. Perfect.
Hi, this is Triante. One of my biggest issues, and I was just sharing with her, is hiring. Since I do have Print Swag, which is the print on demand, which requires labor, assistants, packing associates, I have always struggled with letting the people that I pay to do the work, let them do the work. I shouldn't be a CEO paying every week and I'm sitting in my office at my building, monetizing what they're doing or being afraid that if they mess something up, that my business will fail. So that's something that I've always struggled with, which is to outsource the hand and just trust, and I realize, and I've been watching you for a minute, it's not about trust for me. It's about who has the skills, and then trust will come. So that's kind of like where I'm at.
And the flip side of that is like, it actually is part, I'll give you a little pushback. It actually is trust, because this is your baby, right? Your businesses typically have babies, right? And it's like, you built this thing and you like, this thing creates my livelihood. So if this person messes this up, it could cause me to lose my entire livelihood. So you in this state of we'll find ourselves, and I've been there as well, right? We'll find ourselves in this state of survival, like survival mode, where it's like, I can't trust them to do the thing because I potentially risk them blowing up my whole business and me going back to this place where I don't want to be.
Right.
Does that make sense? So it's like, even if you have somebody that's skilled, if we don't deal with that, even though they're skilled, we won't even get out of the way and let them do what we paying them to do, to your point.
So when do you know when to break loose? What is a certain level of trust that you require? Hey, I'll just let mistakes happen because mistakes happen, or vice versa. Where's your level?
So great question. So one thing that I do is I lead with trust. So one thing I like to do is, like, before we hire, we want to have systems in place for the hire. So when we hire them, we already know, okay, we want them to come in and follow our process. So like, even if they come in and they're skilled from doing it somewhere else, it's like, well, you still got to know our process, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, if somebody let's say somebody hires somebody to Chick-fil-A, and they're like, well, I used to work at Wendy's, so I'm familiar with, how to assembly line, or how to make sandwiches. And it's like, well, no, you need to learn the Chick-fil-A way of how to make sandwiches. Yeah, you know that system, but you need to learn our system. Yeah. Then once you learn our system, then we let you do it. So a good framework is watch me do it. We do it together. You do it, and then we discuss. Does that make sense? Yeah. So watch me do it, whether that's me doing it in person or you watching a video or whatever. Because we even like to have our training process like curriculumized. So it's like, when you get hired, you come on, there's curriculum for you to go through for this particular process. Like, you going through the curriculum might eliminate you in this role because you didn't even make it through the curriculum. Does that make sense? You didn't make it through these videos, you didn't do these processes, you clearly don't follow instructions. So that eliminated you already. So number one is like, all right, watch me do it, whether through video or personally on a Zoom or something. Then we do it together, then you do it, and then we discuss, and then we see what adjustments to make. And then you leave room for mistakes, because mistakes are gonna be made anyway, because we're humans, right? But the system helps mitigate some of the mistakes. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
Anybody else want to add to that? Anybody good? Anybody else know? Y'all ain't on camera. Y'all know that, right? It's just your voice.
Right. So I guess to that point, like, what makes that so attractive? What makes the toxicity of grinding so attractive as entrepreneurs?
It's what we're taught.
The programming.
Yes, it's the program. It's like, bro, it goes back. You familiar with epigenetics? Mm-mm. So epigenetics is like genetics that's passed down from like previous generations. Mm-hmm. So like, some of the genetics that come from like slavery or like even before that are passed down from people you don't even know, right? So if you look back just through history, even if we go scripture, like when Moses freed the Israelites and they were headed to the promised land, mm-hmm. God was providing, and they didn't have to grind or anything to be provided for. But they were like, the process wasn't going as smooth as they wanted it to go. Mm-hmm. And they asked Moses, they was like, why didn't you just leave us in slavery? We were better off in slavery. Right. We would have rather died there in slavery. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we got that. So because they wanted to go grind. Mm-hmm. And then as you looked at our earlier, our if we look further up, if we look at our great grandparents and our grandparents, everything was all about like work. Mm-hmm. It was the Industrial Revolution, agricultural, everything was work. You work sun up to sundown. If you want to make more money, what do? You go work. Right. When I speak at a school and I'm talking to kids and I'm like, hey, how do you make more money? And guess what most of the kids say? Guess what all the kids say? Right. They either say get a job or they say work hard. Like, that's what we're taught. Yeah. But that's not true. Right. Right? So it's like there is work to do, mm-hmm. but it's like the amount of time you work Like for example, somebody whoever built this building works way harder than the person who designed it.
Yeah.
But the person who designed it makes more money.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? Makes way more money.
Yeah.
But the people who came out here with cement, nails,
Yep.
wood, all the stuff that builds this,
Yeah.
they work way harder than the people who like designed it,
Right.
like architected it. So as business owners, we're architects. We design the system, and then we put the right people in place to actually build it. So sometimes when I'm riding and I'm watching people like pour concrete and dig up, and like they're really doing real manual labor, I'm grateful because it's like, dang, I don't have to do that. I'm gifted to not have to do that. And then when I speak to entrepreneurs sometimes, especially if they run their business typically through the internet, and they'll say this is hard work. I'm like, all you do is talk and type.
Right.
Like for real.
Yeah.
Like what's hard about that?
Yeah.
You ain't pouring concrete. It's a lot of thinking.
For sure.
That's the harder work.
Right.
But it's like, in reality,
Are we really?
are you really working hard?
Yeah.
But we'll be addicted to that. But
Yeah.
again, a lot of that just come from you work 9 to 5,
Yeah.
you gotta grind. So it's like you gotta work 9 to 5.
Okay.
Like who came up with that? Well, Henry Ford came up with the whole concept because he was producing cars, and he was like, if we get them to work more hours, they make more money to buy the cars that we're creating. So a human created the whole concept of working 9 to 5. And we adopted it.
Yep.
And now we feel like we're supposed to do the same thing. And then we hear, if you grow up in hip hop culture or trap music culture or anything, it's always grind, hustle up.
Yep.
We on the block from the sun up to the
24/7.
sun
Yep.
down.
Yep.
24/7.
Yep.
Blah blah. Well, that's what we hear
Yeah.
in music culture.
Yeah.
That we're supposed to grind.
To get it.
And then that's what we believe.
Yep. So, okay, that's good. Because even in school, like, they were giving us tests.
Yep.
And it's like, this is what your job is going to be. They said I was going to be a trash man.
Really?
Garbage man? Oh, yeah. Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy work.
How'd they come up with that?
I have no idea. But I think it goes to the programming, right?
Yeah.
So, like, how do you go about deprogramming, like, the hustle mindset, the hustle culture, to living in a place of abundance, peace, rest, and allowing God to provide?
So this is good. We're gonna just jump right into this early, right? So how do you deprogram from the hustle?
For sure.
If people are honest, most people are hustling for something.
Okay.
And a lot of times it's from a false identity,
Okay.
right? So a false identity is okay, if my net worth is this, then I'm gonna be whatever, right? If I drive this, then this, or if I make this, then this, or if this, then this. So like a lot of times it's for something, and people are like being 100% honest, right? The shift that was helpful for me was what's my true identity, right? Because when I was in the streets, my identity was a street nigga. Like that's all I wanted to ever be. I wanted to be a dope boy. I wanted to be a drug kingpin. That's all I ever wanted to be. I ain't want to be famous. None of that. When I did artist and club promotion, artist management, I did artist management. I just wanted to push the artists out. I ain't want to rap. I ain't want to do none of that. But somehow I was always pulled to the front. It was never my intention, right? Got into the online world. I'm like, okay, how can I, network marketing was first. And I was like, okay, how can I get this money? But I ain't trying to be seen.
Right.
And I was like, I ain't trying to be on stage and none of that. I told him, I'm like, listen, I don't do stages. I don't speak on stage, none of that. And I was like, all right, cool, you don't got to present. But fast forward, I ended up having to get on stage. And then I got into the online stuff. I'm like, okay, I can get some of this money. And then, but it was it started continuing to just bring me out front, and it was never my thing, right? So through all of that, I started to gather all this identity. So when we watch, so typically when we watch a podcast, and somebody says, okay, we got Kevin Buford on here, or we got such and such on here, tell everybody who you are. And then what do people typically do when they say, what do you are?
Oh, I've done
They start
this.
talking about what
I've
they
done-
do.
Oh, the resume. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Oh, I do this, I do this,
Yeah,
I do this,
for
I do
sure.
this, I do this, I built this, I've
Yep.
done this. None of that's who you are.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
None of that's who you are. So it's what's your true identity? So for me, and again, it goes back to your filter of truth.
Right.
My filter of truth is the Bible, right? So when we talked about this yesterday.
Yep.
It's how do you discover what your true identity is? That's the secret sauce.
Right.
And then once you figure out what your true identity is, then you build from that. So for example, if we think about an apple tree, what does an apple tree have to do to be an apple tree?
Just be planted. Just be.
It just has to be. It don't even got to be planted.
Right. It just got to be.
It just has to be an apple tree.
Yeah.
And by it being an apple tree, it'll do what?
Grow. Produce.
It'll produce what?
Fruit. Apples.
It'll produce apples.
Yeah.
And then it'll have what?
It'll have
It'll have apples on it.
On the
so
tree.
you won't have to be like, oh, is that? Like,
Yeah,
no, it's.
it is
You know,
what it
all
is.
it had to do was be. So humans are human what? Beings. Society has told us, or that we're human doings. So we got to do something to have something, and then we'll be. Right?
good.
So if we do this, if we grind enough to have enough money, then we'll be peaceful. Then we'll be happy. Then we'll be successful.
For sure.
Then we'll be valued. Then we'll be worthy. Then we'll be seen.
Yeah.
But it's like, what if you be from the beginning? You're probably like, whoa, Marquel, slow down. If you're enjoying the show so far, you may be wondering, how do you actually become a guest? Now, this isn't a platform where anybody can just get on. You gotta be in a specific area of your business where we can really do a solid deep dive. If you wanna be a guest on an upcoming episode, all you gotta do is go to strategicscaleguest.com. strategicscaleguest.com. There is an application process, so go over there, answer a couple simple questions, watch the quick video that I have there, answer a couple questions, and if you meet the criteria, our team will reach out to you and we'll get it scheduled and we can figure out if you're gonna come to our office where we do a deep dive or we come to your office. So go ahead, strategicscaleguest.com. Let's get back into the show. So then it's like, all right, what does God say I am? Who does God say I am? God said I'm his child. If we don't make this super spiritually deep, if we don't got to make this religious because it ain't about religion, right? It's like, who does God say I am? God says I'm what?
I'm his child.
I'm his child.
Yep.
So I got kids. Some of y'all got kids. Some of us, all of us grew up with parents in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? Whether that was adopted, whatever the case may be, right? So with you, I'll use me for an example.
Okay.
So when we used to go spend the night at somebody's house growing up, my mom used to pack us a bag, even send us a little money, right? That's called what? Provision.
Okay.
So God also provides what?
Provision.
God created us with a purpose. We weren't created, contrary to what some people may believe, we weren't created by mistake. We all came with a purpose.
Right.
God has our purpose. So then it's like, all right, some people are like, well, how do you discover your purpose? Again, back to your filter of truth. My filter of truth is the Bible. So I'm like, God created me for his purpose. So God's purpose is to take his invisible heavenly realm and expand it into the earth.
Yeah.
That's his purpose. Right. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna create Marquel, I'm gonna create Kev, I'm gonna create John, Kyla, Andrea, and the list goes on to help me fulfill this purpose because I can't go do it.
Right.
So God told Moses, I had to come down to go free the people in Israel. He didn't mean he was physically coming down.
Right.
He was coming down in who?
Moses.
Yeah. So they need a person to do the purpose.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, cool. What is my purpose? And I ain't discovered this till like over the last 12 months or so. But it's like, what is my purpose? All right, I always thought my purpose is to help people build businesses and all different type of stuff. That's part of it, but the real purpose is to help God expand the kingdom.
Right.
One of the ways I do that is in the marketplace. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But my identity at one point was that of an entrepreneur, that of somebody who help people build businesses, that of people who make millions, help people make millions. And that's all things that I did and have done, but it's not who I am though.
Right.
So at one point I went through a season, if I was like, dang, if I ain't do this no more, who would I be?
What's the
If I ain't had this business no more, if I didn't have this business no more, who would I be?
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, cool. Who would I be? God says, I'm his son. If my mom, earthly parent, who's limited, provides provision, God told me he's sent provision, I'm already good. God said, I blessed him and said, be fruitful and multiply. So I don't got to be blessed. I don't got to pray for, in church they tell, pray for blessings. God will bless you. God ain't going to bless you.
He already did.
He already blessed you.
That's it.
It said it in the very beginning.
Yeah.
But sometimes we don't read though. But it's like, I blessed them and said, go be fruitful and multiply.
Right.
So you already have the seed, and a lot of times it's our gift, but a lot of times we don't use our gift as a seed, but our gift is a seed to multiply. But we don't plant the seed because we're always waiting on the right time, but God said, just go. Anytime, most times when God called somebody in the Bible, he just said, go. He told Moses, just go.
Yeah.
Free them. And Moses came up with all these excuses.
Oh, for sure.
But everybody, he told Abraham, just go and then I'll do. But a lot of times we want to hear the go and we want all the details as
Yeah.
well. But it's like, no, God just said go. Right? So it's like, all right, I'm his child. And think about it, from a child concept, when you're little and your mom says, go do something, you typically what?
Go do it.
You go do it.
Yeah.
If your mom say, go look in the pantry and get me this, you assume that it's what?
There.
There because what?
Because mom said so.
Because mom said it and you trust mom.
Right.
A lot of times we believe in God, but we don't trust God.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So if I'm God's son, he provides provision.
Right.
Money's not my source. People aren't my source.
Right.
The bank account ain't my source. So now I can operate from a place of being. I can operate from a place of success. I can operate from a place of already valued. I can operate from a place of being worthy. I can operate from a place of all the things, status.
Right.
And I don't need that from anybody else because God already. That's why Jesus. That's one of the reasons Jesus was so powerful. Jesus knew who he was.
Yeah.
Like God said, "This is my son, whom I'm well pleased." Jesus went out here trying to get affirmation from nobody.
Right. And that offended people.
That offended people.
Yeah.
Because he already knew who he was.
Right.
So when you know who you are, people can't pull that from you. It's like they don't know what to do with you.
That's good.
Because you just come and shine.
That's good.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. 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 So this is my question for.
And let me say this.
Oh.
God said, "This is my son, whom I'm well pleased."
Right.
This is before he went into his ministry.
Okay.
So he hadn't done anything.
Right. Gee,
Just let that marinate.
Nah, I
He
hear
hadn't
you.
done anything. This is
Yeah.
my son, whom I'm well pleased.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Not because he did anything,
Just because he was.
because he's being
That's it.
a son.
Yeah.
So if I'm a son or your daughter, it's like we already provided for it. Why we out here stressing and grinding? And if you're the son of a king, why are you grinding and slaving and
Yeah.
all that?
24/7. Yeah.
But society teaches us that because society wants to rob us of our identity.
That's good. That's good. We want to unpack that real quick.
I'ma shut up.
No,
I'ma shut up.
that was
I'ma
good.
shut up.
That was good.
Did I
That
answer
was
your
good.
question?
No, that definitely answered
done?
the question. You want to restart that for me?
Did I answer the question or did I just go on the whole like thing?
And then restart that one. No, keep that one rolling. Yep, and restart that one over there. Yep. But no, that definitely answered the question. I think even as I speak for myself, like oftentimes just by consistency, the manipulation of this is what we got to do, rather than the actual being, it's like we feel like the being isn't enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's I felt like the being isn't enough.
Yeah.
So it's just like in the affirmation or the affirming, it's just like from your filter of truth. And this is just the recap. From your filter of truth, it's just like, well, where are you being plugged into that you're getting the negative connotations, the this, that, and the third, the grind culture.
Yeah.
And it's just like, as even us as entrepreneurs, it's just like, well, God is going to provide, and we're worried about the how.
Not God is going to provide. God already provided.
That's good.
God ain't gonna do, God ain't doing nothing else.
Yeah. Every.
God ain't doing nothing else.
Yep.
We waiting on God. God ain't doing nothing else.
That's it. Yep. That's good.
God ain't doing nothing else. God is in you. How you gonna move? But a lot of times we don't accept God is in us because that's too much. Now you gotta you can't make no excuses now.
Yeah.
People will blame the devil. They'll do all this different type of stuff. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
you just ain't taking no responsibility.
That's
but
it.
God ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
He already did it. What you gonna do?
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
That makes sense?
That's it.
So if you think about it, bro. It's fascinating. So God is the ultimate systems designer. So God created all these systems and then installed automation.
Okay.
So it's like, what's an example of that? Seed time and harvest. If you sow and you nourish and you do the things, you get a what?
Harvest.
A harvest. You get a multiplication on what you sowed.
Right.
That's automation. God ain't multiplied. He built the system based on the principle, seed time and harvest. And if you implement the system, the automation kicks in.
And then it.
Yeah. Just like the body is designed to heal itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
He designed the system of a body, and if you put the right things in it, you steward the body correctly, the body will heal itself.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Does it make sense?
No, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
So,
good.
that's what I was gonna say before I kind of went off track. So even when you look at when it said God created God created the heavens and earth. God created the water, then created fish. God created the sky, then created birds. God created this and then created that. So God created provision for the thing. Everything that God created, he created what first?
Provision.
The provision. So
That's good.
you don't think before God created you, he already created provision for you.
Right. Right.
He said, think about the raven. The raven don't sow. He thought you was like the dirtiest bird. Like, if the God take care of the raven, I think he'll take care of you too. Like, I came home one day and I was looking outside in my backyard and it was like a family of deer in the backyard. And they were just like eating in the grass. And I just heard the Holy Spirit like, that's provision.
Yeah.
If the deer are taken care of, the deer ain't worrying about if it's enough grass. If the deer got, like, we're God's highest form.
Right, I hear
we're
you.
God's highest form of creation.
Yeah.
So it's like, are we using what God gave us though? And then it's like, and are we operating from a place of being?
Okay. Yeah.
Are you operating from a place of not enough? If you operate from a place of not enough, like Lake said something powerful earlier. She was like, I was able to finally take in all the abundance. There is no, like, scarcity and lack is an appearance. So like, what are you focused on?
Yeah.
There's also abundance. What do you see? Lake was like, wow, I was able to take in the abundance. Because the abundance everywhere, sometimes we won't see it because we focus on the lack.
That's good. That's
But
good.
the abundance is all around us. We're already abundant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your account ain't gonna make you abundant. Because if you get $1 million in the account, you're still gonna be like, dang, it ain't $2 million though. You get $2 million in the account, you're like, dang, it ain't $5 million though. You at 7 figures, like, man, it ain't 8 figures though. I heard on the internet you're supposed to be at 8 figures. I'm at 100,000 a month. Dang, it ain't $1 million a month though. It's a chase.
Yeah.
And some people will be like, yeah, right. Like, you be honest. And money might not be your thing. You might be like, well, I got this car, but you're like, dang, it ain't the 2024 though.
Right.
Like, people to comment, they'll be like, man, like, them shoes clean. You're like, man, they all right, man, but they got these other ones. Or, nah, man, they cool, man, but it ain't that one you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's at every level. Like, I heard some brothers like, man, you flew in on that jet. And they're like, yeah, man, but it ain't that jet. It's like, bro, this your own jet. But it's like operate from a place of lack. Like, you can have money, but still be in survival mode. I heard Dr. Kurt say this a few years ago. He was like, you can have all the money you ever thought you ever had and still be in survival mode. And that didn't make sense. It didn't really, I heard it and I was like, that's powerful. But it didn't totally like take root in that moment. But I was like, that's powerful. But 100%.
Yeah.
I lived it.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So I wanted to pose the question for anyone out there, or any questions thus far. Any questions?
Marion got a question. Slide in the mic right there, Sean. Thank you, sir. Marion right there.
Up front?
With the dreads right there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Locks.
What'd you say? Oh, my bad. Locks. Apologize.
So it wasn't more so of a question, but more so of a statement based off something you just said. You know, I feel like, you know, when we live in a place of comparison, we don't get to the place of contentment.
Yeah.
Because just like you said, God has already gave us the provision to have all the things that we need to be sustainable, to do all the things. But if we're comparing, oh, Marquell got 15 million, man, I got to get to 15 million. But what are you doing? Well, what are you looking at? What's your perspective of where you are right now? Being content on maybe the 500,000. My 500,000 may not be your 15 million, but I'm good where I am, because something you said a while back was, you know, what would make you successful right now? What is your number? Right? And I had to really just sit there and think about it. Do I really need 15 million? Do I really need $1 million a month? What would that do for me? Right?
Yeah.
And I sat back and I just thought, I was like, I may not even need that much money. I just need to be financially free and steward what I already have. And just like with the apple tree, it comes with seeds. So as I continue to steward what I already have, the scaling of what I already have is going to come regardless.
100%. And it ain't even nothing wrong with having like the desires, but it's like, so contentment, I used to always think, again, until probably the last year or two, I used to think that contentment meant complacency. It's actually not. Contentment means, because I was reading the Bible one day and it talked about contentment. And I was like, man, why would God want us to be content? Like complacent. So I looked it up, and contentment actually means a state of peaceful happiness. So if you operate from a place of contentment, so let's say the goal is 15 million. But if you operate your being is from a place of peaceful happiness, because we come with peace. We don't got to get peace. We come with, we're born, it's like it's installed. Like with your phone, like some apps are already installed, some features are already installed. Like we come with it downloaded already on us, like peace, happiness. But it's like if we're not feeling peace, then there's something blocking it. So like imagine if you built your business, not saying you don't, but imagine if we built businesses from a place of peace and you built from rest. You built from a place of it being already done. How would you now show up every day? And it's because it's not the goal that's the problem. It's typically the attachment to it. And a lot of the goals are just arbitrary anyway. It's like you want to make 15 million in a year. Why? Yeah. Does it matter if you make it in 365 days or is it the same if you make it in 380 days? But a lot of times, if somebody's like, dang, I ain't making it in 365 days, but now I'm 15 days in a new month and I'm kind of over, but so I technically didn't do 15 million a year. Well, why does it really matter that you made $15 million in a year? Because other people told us that that's what it should be. Mm-hmm. So it's like contentment is already being peaceful, already being happy, and operating from that place. Contentment. Does that make sense? If we hit the goal, great. If we don't hit the goal, what? Great.
For sure.
We won either way.
Right.
Because we already won. And once we realize we already won, we're already successful, and you build from that place, now you have a team that operates from that place. But if you're the leader and you operate from anxiousness, if you operated from lack, if you operated from doubt, then you build a team. They're all operating from anxiousness, doubt, all that as well.
Right, and it's funny that you said that. I was talking with one of my mentees on Monday, and we was talking about what place are you operating from? Because, you know, if we're operating from a place of scarcity and lack, then it's always going to be that grind. But if you have that contentment in where you are, you serve differently. You show up differently.
Bingo.
You be differently.
Bingo.
Right? And so I think that was one of like the aha moments of, or another win for me was understanding and conceptualizing that if I'm good right now, I'm going to be good then. But if I'm worried now, I'm going to be worried then because I haven't
You attract it.
Right.
Yeah. God spoke and then it was. So it's like you create it, right? So it's like, think about it, bro. So people ask me, they be like, man, you doing flyers with your clients. How much you charge for that? How much they got to pay for that? You charge like $2,000, $5,000? I'm like, no. They're like, what? Like, you probably be charging for that. I'm like, why? Because people like, you need to extract as much money from people as you can. It's like, for what? My goal is to steward the clients God sends us to the best of our ability. And I know how transformational a day invested. This is a seed. Mm-hmm. I don't need to make no money from it. It actually costs us money to do it. But it's a seed. Does that make sense? So I'm stewarding the money God gave me. I'm stewarding the gift God gave me, sowing it, and then it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. I ain't attached to who comes. We had like 25 people like commit to coming. All of them won't come. We bought them food though. Am I gonna be mad? It ain't my money anyway. It's God money. I'm just stewarding it. You know what I'm saying? And then God just set up the system where we write it off anyway. Yeah. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like I used to have a time when I would be attached with who shows up, who come, when I'm doing an event, who buys, how many enroll. I'm watching the numbers every day, like who showed up, what's the number, who didn't show up, how we need to roll, we need to hit these numbers because I'm chasing these arbitrary goals. Yeah. And there's no peace. It's like if I sow the seed, if I do my part, the harvest is God's anyway. That ain't even on me. So let me rest in that. Let me just do my part. So this ain't abdicating responsibility of us not doing anything. We're not saying you don't do anything. It's like we steward our thing that we do and then we trust. So we're doing it and trusting, and then we take our hands off of it. And it don't got to look like what I think it should look like. Does that make sense?
That's good. That's surrendering your success.
That's surrender.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, real quick, I know we're going deep right now. However, if you're watching this and you're a business owner, you want to take your business to the next level, you want to scale your business and have a business that can run without you, without running you in the ground, and you want to generate more leads, more clients, or you want to put the systems in place so your business can run like a well-oiled machine, make sure you check in the description section of this video. We got a ton of free resources for you. Go ahead and get those right now. Stop right now. Go ahead and get those resources, and let's get right back into the show.
I got a question about like breaking through that phase of going from survival to, I guess, being in a place where you're making decisions out of peace. What is that breaking? I don't even want to know the breaking point because I want to get on the other side of it. But what is the things that you can tangibly do? Because right now, like many of us, I'm hands-on with a lot of things. But how do you take that mentality into a physical, not a physical, but into a real thing that you're doing? Because I get one of the things I'm learning a lot in Strategic Scale Institute is this mentality. And so I'm starting there every morning. But now I'm trying to figure out, okay, so what can I actually let go to prove that my mentality, so everything that's aligned with my brain is aligned with my hands and my heart. So how do I do that, that part? Yeah.
How can you do what? Trust?
No, not trust, but the actual action. Like, does it look like, okay, really go out there and hire somebody and just give it away? Like, no, you need to let go of doing these resumes. You need to let go of doing the work.
So this is good. This is good. And this is typically, because I'm wired the same way, right? So I'm like, all right, what do I need to do? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, us as men, we're wired to do. Sometimes the women are as well. I mean, especially if they're entrepreneurial. But men, our whole identity is creating and doing. It's like you're only as good as what you do. Like men meet each other, after they give each other names, what's the first thing a man asks? So what you do? And based on what you said you do, this brother automatically judges you, or be like, oh really? Or they be like, Am I lying? That's how men size each other up. What he do? Mm-hmm. Like we've seen it. Like a girl will say, well, this is my boyfriend, or they dating, and they be like, what their parents do, what he do, and what their parents do, because that's gonna dictate how they treat them, based on how they do. A man is supposed to do what? Provide and what? Protect. Everybody just said that. I ain't say that. Who told us that? Society. God ain't say that. God said, I'm your provider. I'm your protector. Society told us that men. Now men have the highest suicide rate because they out here thinking that they supposed to be protecting, providing, doing all the things, carrying all this burden, and they weren't created to carry all this burden. But the society has told us we need to carry it all. We need to be protecting. We need to be providing. We're only as good as what we do. If we ain't doing nothing, then we ain't nothing. Mm-hmm. Right? So now the question becomes, so what do I need to do? That's what you asked, right? The real question is, not saying your question is wrong, but how we tweak that question is, who do I need to be? So ask me the question again. What do I need to do to what? Ask it just the way you asked me. That's good. Don't modify. Ask me just the way you asked it.
Yeah. What do I need to do in order to transform my brain and I have the thoughts and the ideas of being the person I want to be, but what are the things I need to do?
Good. So, who do you need to be? Let's take a step back. Who do you need to be first?
I need to be somebody who's disciplined and gives tasks to others.
That's still doing though. Who do you need to be? Hold on. Let him sit with this for a second. Hold on. Who do you need to be?
In like what context? Like
this context. Because you said, what do I need to do X, Y, Z to be the person I want to be? That's what you said, right? So you're thinking that I need to do these things to be the person I want to be. Who is the person you want to be? Who do you desire to be? Okay. Who's the person you desire to be?
I desire to be the person who manages the process, oversees the process, makes sure everything is quality that comes in and out of this from my business. That's what I want to be.
And what do you think has to happen for you to be that person? Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Because right now I'm overloaded. I gotta let go of some of the tasks that I'm doing.
So you need to do what?
I need to let go.
So for you to let go, you have to be what? Because right now you're fearful of letting go.
Yeah.
So what's the opposite of fear?
Brave.
Trusting, courage. Because courage is having the fear but still doing it. So who do you have to be to have courage? Because, like, all right, sometimes the fear of letting go and trusting somebody else is failing. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So what's the opposite of failing?
Succeeding, yeah.
Succeeding. What does success look like for you?
Overseeing, managing the process, being,
Why though? I'm saying all that to why? What's the success?
I want to ultimately impact people's lives. I value that. So everything that comes out of what I do, everything that comes out of it, it needs to add value to somebody's life. So I value that very much.
Got it. So who do you need to be though? Who do you need to be to lead individuals and put them in a situation where they can actually run the system? Who do you need to be?
Yeah, I need to be at my best. I need to be able to have time and capacity to grow myself in order to grow and
That's all doing though. Who do you need to be?
Trusting.
Like, what's your true identity? I shared mine. I ain't telling you that's what yours should be because I don't know your filter of truth, and I ain't here to like convert nobody, convince nobody what they should believe. But I shared mine. But it's like, what's your true identity? Mm-hmm. Outside the business, you said you're a father as well, right?
Yeah.
You married also?
Too. Yeah, I am.
None of that ain't your identity.
No.
Those are all things you do.
Yeah.
Outside of that, what's your true identity?
Yeah. I'm a son of God, right?
So if you're a son of God, can you fail?
No.
Everything you touch prospers. You can't lose, even if it don't look like it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So the first thing you need, what do you need to be? Who do you need to be?
I need to be trusting in a son of God, knowing that whatever I do, it's going to succeed or it's going to come out successful.
Just from you being.
Just from me being.
Because you're already valued. You're already worthy. You're already successful. You're already affirmed. You're already validated. You already the person you desire to be. You're already that person. Mm-hmm. Like now, because the only time that exists is the what? The only time that exists is the what? Right now. There's no future. Mm. So let me give you an example of this. Let me make this practical. We all saw The Lion King before? Yes. The song that Simba used to sing was what? I just can't wait to be what? King. Simba was already king. Am I lying? Am I lying?
No, bro.
He was already king.
That's good.
Bro, you're already king. You're just not operating as a king. You're already a king. A pit bull puppy is already a what?
Pit bull.
Is this making sense?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So you're already that person, bro. We just gotta be. We think we gotta do, and we gotta have the thing. Now you're already that person. The person you desire to come, especially if it's in alignment, you're already that person now. Mm-hmm. Other people don't gotta see it. We don't gotta have the trophies of it for other people to because then we want other people to validate we that person. Other people don't gotta validate that person. You're an amazing. You married, right?
I am.
You're an amazing husband. As long as you're in alignment, regardless if your wife tells you or not. You're an amazing father, regardless if your kids tell you or not, if you're in alignment. But a lot of times we wait for our wife to tell us that we're amazing husbands. And I don't even know why I'm going here. But a lot of times we wait for our children to tell us that we're amazing dads. And because we don't get that affirmation and that validation, we continue to do to at some point get them to finally see us. But you're already that person, bro. Now. And then you move from that place. So now you're like, I can't lose. But I know God is sending me people to make the vision happen. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like now you got to steward the people. Mm-hmm. If the people leave and you do right by people, God gonna send you more good people. Mm-hmm. Like you can't lose, bro. But it's like if you trust, you got to operate open-handed. A lot of times we close-handed, and because we wanted to control it and make it look like how we want it to look. Mm-hmm. But like that's control. That ain't surrender.
You're completely right. And if I were to be honest with this thing, I would say this month-over-month growth that I said was a success is because I'm doing it to push it further.
Yep.
But you know what? I like this conversation because it's teaching me, okay, stop focusing on growing in that way and let's grow in a different way.
Bingo.
Let's grow in teaching other people to replace and just be who I'm.
Yep. Just be, because growth ain't always financial. Your family growing, you growing as a father, you growing as a husband, you growing as a leader. By you leading your family, that's gonna make you a greater leader in the business as well, and vice versa. And you have more empathy because you got 3 children. You got it. Your empathy is at an all-time high.
Patience.
It gotta be, and you gotta have that in business, because now you're stewarding people.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
For sure.
So it's like, bro, you gotta try who do I need to be? Present. I need to be present. What do you got to do to be present?
Let go.
Be present. Show right now. Breathe. I'm here. Does that make sense?
That's good, bro.
Did I make that? I want to make sure it's practical. Is that practical? We good?
So much sense.
All right, good. Is that good? Well, did I rant?
No.
Did I go over?
You were right where you're supposed to be.
Sometimes I overdo it.
No,
You know.
you were right where you're supposed to be. That was in pocket. Yep.
All right, so I've seen this message a couple of times, and the renewing of the mind is just incredible when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But there is trauma that people have.
Yep.
And when they get that trauma, that's when we get the poison thinking.
Yep.
So this was one incredible way of helping us understand that everything that we need is already in us.
You don't even need nothing.
Hold on. Say that again.
You don't even need nothing. The fact that you think you need something is lack.
That's
And that means you're out of alignment.
Right. So now I'm asking the question, for those who had to deal with trauma that causes them to not see themselves the way God sees them,
Mm-hmm.
what do you say to them to get to a place where they can now start seeing themselves the way that God has intended for them to see?
So what's their filter of truth? Is if they believe in God, right?
But we gotta start there. I
Let's
don't know.
start-
I don't know how to start the other way.
Let's start there. So how do I get them to see that God doesn't see their trauma, or God doesn't see their trauma in them? Correct? Is that what I'm
The
hearing?
individual.
The
That
individual.
individual has to change. They have to change to the place
Yep. Good.
where they can see themselves the way God sees them. The reason why I believe we see the challenges today
Mm-hmm.
in people is because they've been hurt. They've been traumatized. So now something has to change there in order for them to get to that place where they can see themselves the way God sees them. So
Yeah,
I'm just curious, what do you say about
Y'all
that?
mind me answering this with a story? I'll probably answer it with a story. Y'all okay with that? Real quick. So it's a story. It was this gentleman, and this gentleman named Moses, right? Moses actually, he killed somebody, right? So he saw an Egyptian beating up on a Hebrew, he killed him, right? And then somebody else was beefing again, and then he jumped out and he broke it up. And one of the dudes was like, "Who are you? Like, you gonna kill me like you killed the other dude?" And Moses was like, "Oh, dang, somebody saw that," right? And it says Moses like took off and left, right? Years passed, God appeared to him and was like, "Hey, I see the affliction of my people in Egypt. I gotta come down to go deliver them. So go," all he said, he was like, "So go and free them," right? It's God talking to him. So he believed in God. Moses didn't trust God though, because the first thing he said was, what was his reply, Gerald? You know, "Who am I to go tell Pharaoh to let the people go? Who am I?" This is a question of identity. Moses knew he was a what? He had did what? He had murdered. Moses wasn't a murderer. He had murdered though. Moses remembered that. The Bible doesn't show anywhere where God brought that back up. Because think about it. Let's go back to the childlike, right? I'm a child of God. You got kids, right? Your kids, all right, so what's your oldest? 19. What's your youngest? 6. You're 6. When your 19-year-old was 6, it's a girl? Did she do certain things that you didn't approve of? Yeah. Perfect. How often do you bring that back up? Never. I got you. Yeah. So with that being said, so why don't you bring it up?
It's not relative at all to where she's going, who she is.
And some of that was for development at 19. Right? So it's like if you don't see it as a physical human, as a physical father, and God is our Father, God forgiving you for that. Like some of that was for your development. Mm-hmm. Like even with Joseph was about to be killed by his brothers. Yeah. And then it was like, no, don't kill him. Sell him into slavery. They sold him into slavery. They put him over the house. The girl lied on him. He got put into jail. This is all trauma. The girl put him in, they didn't call it trauma back then. Everybody call everything is trauma these days. You yell at a child, that's traumatizing. Yeah. Right? We used to get beat with switches. Man, right? Trauma, right? But it's like, okay. So he went back into prison, was put over to prison, then he got out of prison, ended up running Egypt, saved the whole generation. Some people would say that was trauma, some people would say that was training ground. It was development. He had to learn how to steward people, he had to learn how to deal with adversity, all of that. So it's like, if I'm talking to somebody and it's like, now the stuff you went through is real, mm-hmm. But it's like, what are the lessons that you pulled from that? Mm-hmm. Like all of it is real. It ain't like, no, you don't gotta be aware of none of that. Well, no, like all of that is very, very real. How do you pull from that? And it ain't got nothing to do with God. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question or no?
You answered the question.
Yeah.
For sure.
You saying, how would I explain it to another person?
How would you explain it to another person?
I just did.
Right, you did. That's what I said. You answered the question.
I would have did it just like how I just did. I was like, you mind me sharing a story?
Love that.
Because if I share a story, now I can speak to your subconscious. That's why the Bible is stories.
Yeah.
And principles.
Love that.
But like if I say, bro, your trauma ain't real. All you got to do is think positive. All you got to do is affirmations. All you got to do is this. Do. All that's doing. That's why the personal development industry is so massive and so few people getting results. Because it's all about doing. Do affirmations. Do this. Do that. Just think positive. Just this. What about when you think positive and a negative thought comes up? Now you're like, this stuff ain't working. Am I lying? This stuff ain't working. What about when you're doing affirmations and your subconscious like try to bring something, oh, no, you ain't that. Remember this? Like, how do you now filter and navigate your thoughts? Does that make sense? So it's like, now it's like, well, don't do this. Here's who you need to be. Here's who you need to be to do those affirmations. Here's who you need to be to, because now if you be that person, when you're reading affirmations, you're already saying who you already are, not who you're looking to become.
Yeah.
That's good.
Does that make sense? Does that all make sense, everybody? Mm-hmm. Good. It's like Andrea had a hand. I don't know if who else had a hand. It's kind of dark, but Andrea had her hand up. Is it a fly or is that somebody like that?
It's outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, down the roof. That's right.
That's good. Love it.
I just want to piggyback on the truth of the personal development space. I am a personal development coach, and it took me a good 3 to 4 years to say that, to be called that, to label it as such because of how it's misrepresented, done on some high trivial level, and it's so basic and simple. And it goes back to epigenetics and neuroplasticity and God. Like, those are literally like it. Yep. And it's like basic things of, if you believe in God, everything that you just said to me can exist. Like, those two things don't sit in the same space. Yep. If you trust that God has your back and is doing all the things that are going to help you be the best version of you, why are you stressed? Why are you pressed? Why are you upset? Why are you depressed? They can't exist at the same time. So you're choosing this other thing over him every time you stay in this place. You're going to think it's going to pass. But if you sit there, you're choosing that thing. And like, it chokes me up because I'm the most, let me be careful with my words. I'm not a Bible thumper. I don't know what half the words that are in there, but I'm learning through my journey with developing my relationship with God through Christ. And I'm recognizing there are scriptures that speak to how I just naturally move. And I never knew that there were words already written hundreds and thousands of years ago that represent that. And now I'm like, oh, that's what I be doing. And now there are words, but there's words existed before I even existed, but I didn't know that. And I'm talking to people who know this book front ways and back ways and don't believe it in their body, don't trust it. And I don't know what the words are. And it's like, So back to my goal today is to package all of that in a way that people hear it and they feel it and they believe it. Like, it ain't that hard. It's deep, but it ain't that hard.
I agree.
That's good.
Cool.
That's good.
I think Lake had a question.
All right. So my question is, how do I become like as or more like wise like you, Markwell?
Define wise.
I think just being able to like articulate to people to convey a message that's like bigger than you, that's like really transformative. And I don't know if I just got more life to do to figure it out or like what that looks like. Because you like are super wise, and it's like how do I do that?
Thank you for that. So, hey, congratulations on making it to the end of the episode. If you enjoyed this episode, you definitely want to check out the next episode that we got, probably popping up on the screen right here somewhere. And also make sure you subscribe to this show. And also check in the description section. We got a ton of resources for you to actually implement a lot of the strategies and insights when we talk about building a business that can actually run without you. Go ahead and do that right now, and we'll see you in the next episode.